All right, we're back for another video. Okay, we're gonna get into something interesting. So, had a conversation last night with someone, and I wanted to give my thoughts. And I wanted to discuss something that I think is interesting. So, y'all have heard me explain in the past about masculine energy and feminine energy, where you have masculine energy, and you have feminine energy, and they come together. It's like a magnet, right? Here's where shit gets weird, right? If you have feminine energy, they repel each other. They can't stand each other, right? All kind of issues happen. When you have masculine energy, they repel against each other. You have issues, right? You want to have masculine and feminine and they come together. That's how it's supposed to work in relationships. But you all be doing things backwards. So why? I don't know. Like I said, a lot of you all are like hyenas. And I'm talking about men and women. Both of y'all are like hyenas. Now, does it mean that you need to be ultra masculine and like the rock? No, right? A lot of people are confused by feminine, how feminine men act and how masculine men act. And let me just give you some context. Men who are in gangs that are running the streets, those are not masculine men by any means, by any stretch. Okay? The men who have multiple businesses that's investing in real estate, that's trying to make financial moves, that's planning and doing, those are the more masculine men. Okay? Just letting y'all know that, the difference. The men that are masculine tend to have a vision, they have structure, whereas feminine people, men, and I can't say, I'm not saying feminine women don't, you can't equate feminine. Let me put it like this: feminine men and feminine women are not exactly equal, but they also repel. And go talk to a feminine woman and ask her, do she wants a feminine guy? She's gonna say, hell no. So, anyways, let's get into this video. This is Samantha Cooker. So this is a woman, okay? That's gonna explain to you. Oh, I'm gonna get into this. Oh, I'm gonna get into that. I just saw a comment about something. I'm gonna get into something because I want y'all to take a close look at me because I'm gonna get into something real quick. All right, let's. I should have done. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna adjust it so make sure to close your ears. I don't know how loud it's gonna be. So let's start this.
There's all this talk about women being masculine, but let's talk about the traits of a feminine man because those men exist too.
Yeah.
A lot of feminine men have a inferiority complex. They think there's something wrong with them, and so they try and use women as a stepping stool to feel better about themselves. Does that make
Woo. Okay. Now I just want y'all to know I don't know anything about this person. I haven't heard this, but I will tell you off rip, she is totally correct. What she just basically described. Let me explain something to y'all. If you women, let me explain something to y'all because I want y'all to listen to this. Some of you women have actually dated a man who has no job. And I'm not talking about that he had a job, he got laid off or fired. Well, laid off. We're not gonna get into the fire part, but he got laid off and he's looking for work, but he just can't find it because of the area he's in. Okay, I get that. But I'm talking about the men that literally has never worked a day in their life. They don't plan on working. And then y'all date these men and have babies with these men. And then y'all get mad because so the biggest thing out of the whole situation that y'all get mad about is the fact that he's talking to another girl. Y'all getting mad. First off, logic should tell you that the first thing you should be mad at is why this person doesn't have a fucking job. Y'all getting mad at the wrong stuff. So she just described basically men who don't want to work, who don't want to try to be a provider.
Make sense? Many will prefer a submissive woman in order to exercise the control, to exercise the dominance they ascribe to masculinity, right? Um, Feminine men tend to be short, you know. Feminine men tend to be pretty. They have a narrow jawline, just a pretty face. A man with a pretty face. A man who is creative, very creative. A man with a high pitched voice. A man with a high pitched voice. A man who is very stylish. He's up on the trends. He's very fashionable. He puts all kind of colors together. He puts all kind of fabrics together. He's fashionable. He's fashionable. He's emotional. A feminine man is always in their feelings. I feel. I feel. I feel. They cry. They're more often likely anger because anger is the only emotion in patriarchy that is allowed for men. So very hyper, very emotional, always in their feelings, crying, lashing out, you know, all that. Talks a lot. He always wants to debate. He always wants to hash it out. He loves to talk. He loves to hear the sound of his voice and express his feelings. He talks a lot, okay? A masculine man is strictly heterosexual. So a feminine man is gay, bi, trans, bi-curious. Feminine men wear long hair, long dreads, long big bush. Feminine men are intimidated, both intimidated and attracted to strong masculine men. Right? Spent most of his life without a father figure. Strong father figures can make a son feminine, and strong father figures can make a son masculine. It depends on how that father spent time with his son.
Okay.
But let's say it's the absence of a father,
Okay.
you're probably dealing with, a man who was feminine. He's having identity. He's having an identity crisis. He's flailing in the dark, trying to figure out what a man is, because
I mean, she's not wrong. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, men that have high voices, that would be me. Men that. Now, here's the thing where I will push back on. I'm going to say that this generation, the boys were never really taught how to be men. Now, luckily, I had some women in my family that knew some. They looked up to their brothers, and their brothers, which will be my uncles, did what they did with a man. I've seen a lot of that. Now, with that being said, she's been on point with a lot of things, and these are, I'm not gonna lie, these are kind of some flags that y'all might need to look out for the next time you're talking to a guy. Now, the anger, right? I've always said that that's been a feminine thing. If a guy gets angry at every little single thing, that's a red. That should be a red flag off the jump. 'Cause you're not gonna really see masculine men getting angry about stuff. Typically, if they're upset, now you may see that from their frustration, but they know how to handle that. And a lot of them, if they're upset about something, will actually formulate a plan to solve whatever issue that they are having. But all right, let's continue.
Because he's always around. He's always been around his mom. He's always been around his sisters, his aunties. He's been around
That's
all
true.
these feminine figures,
Yep.
and rarely gets to bump up against a man. You know what I'm saying? In a loving way, in a leadership way, and so he takes after the women in his family.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
But he has a penis. And that circles back to the inferiority complex. That circles back. I don't know what a man is. And the stereotype of a man, I'm trying to get to that. So I'm going to use women who I date to get that leg up. To get in formation, to get into the caricature of what I think a man is. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And none of these traits are bad. You know, none of these traits are bad. A man who is emotional, it's that emotion that helps him take care of his parents in their later stages. He feels for them. He has empathy for others.
Okay.
He has compassion for others.
Okay.
A man who is talkative can tell us what the male brain is thinking, good, bad, and ugly. But he can, he can spend time talking with his children and coaching people. None of these traits are good or bad, or, the man who is spent a lot of time with women, can empathize, should be able to empathize with women. You know what I'm saying? And understands their value in the world. So none of these traits I'm saying is a dig. Just like a masculine woman is not necessarily bad. A masculine woman is not bad. And so a feminine man is not bad either.
So, kind of like what I said, matter of fact, I should play that video, but there's a video out right now that when you have a feminine man, and he's feminine, he actually claims to be feminine, and you have a masculine woman who claims to be masculine, and they are in a relationship and they love each other. And they actually, when you look at those two, they look like they make a good couple. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. It's just that if you're gonna be if you're consider yourself a feminine man, you're gonna attract masculine women. I will say the problem that comes with those type of relationships is that a lot of women who are masculine don't want to always be masculine. They want to switch between trying to be masculine and feminine. That doesn't work, right? So there you go. There's a chart of your feminine energies and your masculine energies, right? Now let's look at this. So let's look at the wounded masculine. Perpetrator, abuse of power, dominance, aggression. Now I want you to take tune on the aggression part, because if you go over to the wounded feminine, you see victim. I think that's very interesting. You see victim, and then you go on the other side, you see aggression. Now keep in mind, this is masculine energy. This isn't masculine men, this is masculine energy. So if you're a woman and you have masculine energy, you probably have aggression. And I will tell you right now, I've had at least 2 or 3 relationships where women who supposedly were done wrong become aggressive with me. And if you look, aggression is not a feminine trait, that's a masculine trait. So not saying so women by nature, if they're wounded, shouldn't have aggression if they're very feminine. Now they'll play the victim role, they'll be overly emotional, they'll be needy. I wouldn't even call neediness being a wounded trait. Manipulative. That's true, right? Go back to the masculine side. Unstable, unsupportive, abuse, criticism. I'll be honest with you. There are feminine women who criticize people. It's just how it is, right? I wouldn't say criticism is wounded masculine. You know, let's like a wounded feminine. I don't think needy women are considered wounded, right? I also would say codependency. I don't think that would be considered a wounded female trait either, right? I disagree with some of that. Confrontational. That's definitely someone that's been wounded, and you see this a lot, especially men when they fight, when they're going back and forth. You see that a lot with men when they're confrontational. That's a man that's wounded because he don't know how to handle conflicts. So he gets confrontational. He starts yelling. He tries to exert dominance. He gets aggressive. He tries to seek control. Someone that's competitive, I wouldn't say who's wounded. I mean, look at Michael Jordan. He was competitive. And look, and listen, this man is a goat. So ain't nothing wrong. So there's some things about this. Maybe in a different context, I would agree with some of this. Even on the wounded feminine, I don't see neediness, codependency. If it goes hand in hand with manipulation, manipulation is bad, right? I don't know what weakness is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't know. But I guess that's just a attribute of a female that might be uh, hurt. Right. You look at your natural feminine, nurturing, which is something that I'm gonna be honest with you is absent from today's women. Kindness is almost absent. Um, Creative. Women are creative. That's why they make. Well, I can say they make the best cooks, but they tend to be able to make the best cooks. Right? We know that we know the auntie down the house. Y'all know auntie that y'all used to go to on Sunday nights. Be making a bomb ass spaghetti, from scratch. What else? Greens. Come on, y'all know, right? Sensitive, surrender, right? Surrendering, radiance, flow. I don't know what flow got to do. I'm not familiar with the flow. The feeling, right? Understanding, unconditional love, the natural masculine, boundaries. Boundaries is one. Courage, discipline, right? That's another thing that y'all need to ask, when y'all dating is the discipline, how disciplined the man are. If you have a man that doesn't, who can't even hold down a job without getting let go or getting fired, why are you with this guy? He doesn't have discipline, right? Focus, logical. Look at logical and then look at feeling, right? So when I get where she's going with that, there's not a bad thing for now. Every guy's gonna have a little bit of femininity in them, and they're supposed to, right? But there should be more masculine energy, especially if you're a feminine woman. Now, if you're a masculine woman and you're proud of that, that's great. You need to find you a feminine guy, make it work. But realize you can't switch between masculine and feminine. You gotta stay in your masculine, right? Let's continue.
It depends on the man and how he handles a lot of these traits.
Yeah,
A man can be masculine but still dabble in his femininity side. What do I mean? He can be masculine but still be a good dresser.
yeah,
You know, be very stylish. Just like a woman can be bald headed but be extremely feminine.
that's true.
You know, so you know there's not a one size fits all for femininity and masculinity. You know, there's some fluidity, but these are some main traits of feminine men. And you can tell me in the comments what other traits do you see in a feminine man or men who dip their toe in the feminine side. Let's talk about it in the comments and we'll speak again. And I'm sure you guys saw the beginning of this video, and it was quite petty with who I put up. But a lot of these men think, you know, masculine women are, you know, so terrible. So, you know, two can play that game. So it.
Okay, I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna get into that. I want y'all to read this. I wish I could. Let me see if I can do something. Oops. Don't want to do that. There we go. Can I? There we go. Okay. There we go. Here we go. Blow that up for y'all. Cause I want y'all to look at this right here. I want y'all to look at this right here. Okay. And I'm gonna say this. Those feminine dudes who wear earrings in both ears. Listen to me. I'm just gonna tell you up front. I have said this for, oh my gosh, I've said this for years, right? Years. That men who wear earrings, I have no idea why y'all find those guys attractive. I don't even know. Like I said before, I don't even know where that even came from, because there's no tribe in Africa where men wear earrings. I'm gonna be upfront with you. I barely understand men who wear like necklaces. I'm just gonna be blunt with y'all. I don't understand that. And I don't know why that is attractive to women when you have men. Like, I get the rap scene, right? I get that. That's a cultural thing. That's a thing. We can get into that later. But there was a guy in the fourth grade that actually had an earring. He had one earring in one ear. And I stated this before, that he sat there and called me gay, right? I don't just playing around. And I sat there and I was like, dude, you're calling me gay and you're fucking wearing an earring and you're wearing a necklace along with the other women around in it. So, it's just one earring. I don't have two earrings. I'm like, yeah, it starts with one earring, then there'll be two earrings. Here we are today, two earrings. And I said, the next thing you know, it'll be makeup, which then you'll sit there and say, oh, well it's done differently. But now, keep in mind, this was back in the early 90s. So I just thought it was funny. But I see that as being feminine too, that you're wearing jewelry when that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's not even something that's in the men's section of the store. How do you get jewelry? There's no jewelry section in the men's section of a store. Now, am I saying that you shouldn't wear it? You can wear whatever you want to wear. But what I am telling you is that my viewpoint is, I just think that it's more feminine than anything, right? So, anyways, let me know what y'all thought about this video. Thought it was pretty interesting. And the shot that she was talking about, I saw the picture. I'm not gonna respond to it. But shout out to her. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.